the pump was completely off, nothing was running at all.
What's up, pond people? In this video we're going to kind of walk through the exploratory cleanout process. An exploratory cleanout is a good option for clients that have just moved into a new house and have adopted an old feature, or if they haven't touched their feature in a while and they got to figure out what's going on. We can use an exploratory cleanout to kind of get a feel for the feature. Now, the first thing we want to do on an exploratory cleanout is speak to the clients, because they might be able to give us some insight into problems they've noticed or things that are concerning them, so we kind of know what to look out for during the process. On this particular feature, the homeowner is a new homeowner, so they got this feature with the house. They're not quite sure what they got, but in particular they've been having some problems with the pump and the lighting, so they want us to take a look at that. And in general, this feature just kind of needs a clean out / clear out of some of that brush to get it looking brand new for the new homeowner.
A little fancy spin on it. You spilled that, we're showing Dave.
I'm sorry you guys had to hear that threat, but I'm just glad I was there to document it on film. But I think Blake's going to be alright. Pulling back the pressure washer, getting that tank pulled back there. Setting up the tank is one of the first things we do. It's pretty much the first thing we do right after speaking to the homeowner on any clean out or exploratory clean out. It's because it's going to be filling up with hose water, and even if the homeowner's got good hose water pressure, it's still going to take a while. But yeah, that tank just pops right up and out. Pretty convenient, pretty easy to set up. And then as you can see, the hose is going to take its precious time filling this tank up. So we got other stuff we can do.
So we just talked to the customer when we got here. You know, the pump was completely off, nothing was running at all. But it wasn't actually the pump like he originally thought. His electrical was out right here. So the first thing we did is we went over here to the corner where the GFI connects, and it was already set. So it had the green light, meaning it's working. So the next thing we did was tried to locate the breaker box, which luckily was right behind us on the wall, and we reset it and everything works. But they kind of have this weird contraption where the pump is connected to a timer with the lights at the same time, which is a little odd. We don't usually recommend that because you can run these features all year, all day here in Carolina. So we might figure out how to get rid of this and rewire the pump over here to the GFI because it's just unneeded, and we'll try to only run the lights on this. All right, the box is on. Let's see if there's any lights on.
And thankfully, this feature's lights are all working, illuminating it like the star of the show it should be. So here the guys are just taking out the old pump so that we can put our pump down into the reservoir and drain out the old nasty water. We're not going to be reusing that. And we also need to use that as a drain spot for when we're rinsing the feature. Braden is going to have more than enough plant material here to make something resembling a hula skirt, so looking forward to that. And then Blake is just doing some spot checking here and there, checking out the liner, checking out little spots to make sure everything's covered in liner. He looks like me when I drop my contact lens in the morning and I'm trying to find that thing. But yeah, an exploratory cleanout isn't about flipping every single rock and searching every square inch of a feature. It's about checking problem areas and making sure that the integrity of the feature is holding up well.
We've got our pump on. It's connected to start draining. We're going to drain out all this old dirty water from the pondless reservoir. We'll go ahead and start with that now.
Sometimes these pumps and hoses need a little encouragement, tug and wiggle, so that's what Blake's doing here. He's just trying to get the suction started. And Blake loves being on these videos so much. Here he is giving a little intro unprompted.
And now what we're going to do.
I've never seen a human being that loves being on camera as much as this human being does.
Nothing like the smell of new gloves in the morning.
So now that we've gotten that basin drained out and we've cleared out a lot of that extra plant matter and brush, we're going to go ahead and set up the pressure washer. So we got a Y splitter set up. So basically we're going to have one hose going to the tank and still filling it up. We're going to have one hose connected to the pressure washer, so it's got access to water for pressurizing. We got Blake striking a sweet pose with that pressure washing gun. Even though he's not the one pressure washing, it's going to be Braden on this one. But yeah, pressure washing just loosens up all that gunk and nasty stuff that's all in the rocks, and a lot of that discoloration that's stuck to the rocks, we use the pressure wash gun to get that off. We also like to keep our clients well informed of our findings and the steps of the process, what we're doing, what we're seeing. So here's Blake just relaying that information back to the homeowner to keep them in the loop. While Braden is pressure washing, it's a great time for Blake to set up the rinser. There's two parts to every clean out. There's the pressure washing part and there's the rinsing part. I already kind of touched on the pressure washing part earlier. That's essentially just to loosen up the gunk in between the rocks and the algae and standing on the surface of the rocks. The rinsing part is more about draining and washing all of that debris down to one centralized pump, and Blake's going to touch on that a little bit more later on in the video. Braden is finishing up pressure washing the feature, and he's also going to give a little blow through to the feature to make sure any debris or anything that fell in during the pressure washing process is gone and we are ready for rinsing. We're going to be using all of this clear water and more during the rinsing process, so that's why we're going to keep the hose in there while we're rinsing to keep filling it up. And it doesn't matter if your feature's got more nooks and crannies than a Thomas's English muffin, we're going to rinse that whole thing head to toe to get all the nastiness out.
Alright, so after we get done pressure washing and all the gunk off removed from the rocks, we're going to rinse that and flush it all down. We're looking for clear water, so we're going to leave this in here for a second, but all of this dirty, nasty water is going through the stream, down into the reservoir and being pumped out of our drain pump, making it all clean.
And for the little amount of water we got left at the end of the rinsing process, we can just put the hose in the bottom of the basin or the pond and start filling it up with that water. While it's filling up, we can also usually take care of small things to help beautify the feature, like cutting some of this juniper off or straightening out rocks.
Evan, I don't touch the camera. It's not my job. Blake.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I think that clip sums up the kind of fun we like to have on these cleanouts. And for the record, Blake loves touching the camera. And here is the 99% of the way finished product. We still got to get some of our stuff out of the way. You can still see our hose sitting there, but as you can see, this water feature is running beautifully. We got all the waterfalls going. That sweet flatgrass was blocking that one main waterfall a whole bunch, so we cleared out a lot of that and just got it clean and working again. We got a slight dead zone in the water based on the design of the feature, but that'll clear up. It's just going to take a little bit longer than the other spots. And Braden is doing some finishing touches trying to beautify it. So is Blake, bringing that big rock into the back to help cover some stuff up. But the main goal of an exploratory cleanout is to find solutions to problem areas, and that can sometimes mean an additional site visit if it's something major, or if we have the supplies and means to do it in one day. Like here, we just needed to lift up some liner to fix a small leak, and we needed to add a timer and extension cord. We'll do it in the same day if we can.
So after we're all done rinsing, cleaning, we like to treat the water with a flocculant. It's got a lot, as you can see, the water's got a lot of suspended debris in it. The flocculant will help collect all that, bring it down. The filter will capture it. This helps expedite the process more in clearing the water. Another thing that we'll add in these pondless water features, it's a phosphorus blocker. Algae usually will eat phosphorus, absorb the phosphorus, so without that in the water, helps prevent the algae from growing.
Lastly, we give the client the info they need and we head out.